I'm not sure if I'm the only one feeling this way, but a lot of this fall 2025 anime has felt kind of bland with like maybe two absolute bangers, and one of them being Chainsaw Man, the Reze arc movie, because that movie has just been straight up phenomenal. It's been talked around a lot. It even converted people that were kind of weary of this series to finally convert and notice that this is just a peak show. It's very good, and I'm glad to see that Tatsuki Fujimoto's works are being displayed not just only in Japan but globally around the world, because again, this is a freaking sensation of a movie, which I am happy for. And not only that, but even more of his works are getting pushed up, like his anthologies from when he started as a mangaka or even before to where he is now. Another one has to be My Hero Academia. Now that is a wild ride. I'm not going to lie, I did drop it only for a little bits because I think like season 2 I was catching up with week by week basis, but then at some point I just let it go so I could binge it all at some point. And that some point hasn't been now, but I just know that it was a phenomenal series when it started off. The only thing that took me away from that series as well was the fandom. That was another factor as to why I dropped it. But I grew up, grew some balls, realized that the fandom is not the anime and people just talk and fantasize about weird shit. So I grew a pair, embraced the weirdness between the fandom and the anime, and now I'm actually looking forward to finishing it, because right now fall 2025 was the end of My Hero Academia anime, and I'm glad that it received the feedback that it did. So I can't wait to actually watch it. But in all, I think that is literally the best of the best when it comes to the fall 2025 anime catalog. Everything else has just been kind of meh. I don't know if you want to consider Demon Slayer to be fall anime, but even then, at that point, it's not really considered the best. I wouldn't even put it up to scale with Chainsaw Man, because Chainsaw Man movie was just phenomenal. And I know that Demon Slayer was literally like another global sensation. It literally brought everybody to watch anime. Even like everybody was talking about it. News outlets, people that aren't even familiar with anime were talking about it. It was insane. I love to hear that, but I really wouldn't consider the quality or the story quality to be on par with Chainsaw Man. Following right after that, another mid one has been To Your Eternity. Now this one has been a very emotional roller coaster in terms of story when it comes to this anime, because episode 1 literally had everybody in their chokehold. Everybody was literally bawling their eyes out when they saw the first death appear. I was one of them. It was really good, and season 1 did that very well throughout the entire time. It was emotional, it was impactful. Gugu is the GOAT, but literally season 2 I completely lost interest. It felt repetitive, even though it was still kind of fresh. And then season 3 comes along, and again, it's literally the same thing. I've watched a few episodes, I mustered up the courage, removed some time off of my schedule to like make some room for this anime. It was a little bit of a snooze fest, I'm not going to lie. There are some interesting things, like some interesting characters returning back, kind of, but other than that, it's still the same thing. I don't see an end, but maybe I just need to let it marinate for a second and, you know, let it do its thing. Trust the process, as they say. Another one we all know, this is still kind of mid. I just don't like the animation, and we all can agree with that as well, and that's One Punch Man. I made multiple videos about this. Bandai Namco is really the only one that we should be aiming our hate towards, because it's not JC's staff. JC's staff did a pretty good job for season 2, and they were also in charge for season 3, but they were not given enough budget and not given enough time. One Punch Man, man, it just hurts to see this show go downhill. Now I hope that eventually it'll get picked back up, possibly by another company other than Bandai Namco, and possibly by another studio if they're okay with it. JC Staff didn't do a terrible job, but you can tell the quality difference between season 1 and season 2. I know there's an argument with season 1 never coming back, but it would just be good to have like a similar type of vibe or quality like season 1 to a potential season 4. Now, before I get into the absolute worst, let me throw in some hidden gems in here, because there are some good ones, like Cinderella Grey season 2. My gosh, if you're not a fan of Uma Musume, well, please become a fan of Uma Musume, because 1, the anime is good, each races are intense, each character that they follow is intense, and every single time a win occurs, you feel satisfied as if you were the trainer. Now, put the anime aside, play the game, because the game is also a freaking banger. And now we're reaching to the bottom of the bucket here, because this anime I've never really watched. I could only judge the book by its cover, but it seems to be more focusing on the comedic side than the actual like romance aspect of it. And this one has to be plus size misadventures in love. Now again, it has to be comedic. I can't really see this being a full-on romance. Now I know a lot of y'all are probably going to call me fatphobic or anything or something like that, but at the same time, I like my characters to look as attractive as possible. I don't know, man. Like, call me fatphobic. It's just personal preference. I like my heroines or my MCs to look pretty cool. I mean, I'll try to bite the bullet and actually watch the anime, but I don't know. It's just preference wise. I just don't want them to look as goofy as they can. I mean, Scissor 7's an exception. Again, I'm just talking to my ass out of this one because, again, I'm judging a book by its cover here. It doesn't look good, but it probably is. And if I am wrong, blast me in the freaking comments, man. Throw stones until I start freaking losing conscious, because I feel like I am probably missing out. So, you know what? I'll give it a watch. Anyways, on to the absolute worst of the worst. Now, I've made a whole video about this, and I've got some weird comments talking about this as well. Don't know why you're trying to defend it, because it is just a fantasy of the mangaka, and the anime is called With You, Our Love Will Make It Through. And it is, again, a fantasy that the mangaka strives or wants. It's a furry anime. It's a furry anime. Let's just say that. It is a furry anime where the whole plot of the story, and this is just based off of the freaking summary of what is shown before the anime, is just about two lovers. One's a human, one's a demi-human or a beast folk, and they're trying to break the barrier into the discrimination of humans and beast folks alike. So there's like, it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet type of setting. And I wouldn't really have minded like that. I really wouldn't have minded at all if it just stuck to the plot. But a lot of the clips that I've seen just make up enough for me to assume that this isn't just about the plot. It's 80% of just disgusting fan service, because the beast folk that we're looking at, I don't know his name, but it's a blue dog. We'll just call him Blue for now. And Blue has these animalistic tendencies as a dog would, sniffing and licking a person, a high school girl who is also in love with Blue. I mean, like, the close-up shots and everything like the sorts just make me feel uncomfortable. And I remember seeing a comment saying that this is somebody else's yum, so don't diss on somebody else's yum. But I'm definitely dissing on somebody else's yum, because this is not yum, this is yuck. And I don't know why or how it got greenlit. Why did this make it through and not like another season of 86? I know I'm making that comparison along. I really just want an 86 season 2. I couldn't muster up the courage to watch one episode. Again, this is another judging book by its cover, but I've seen some sneak peeks into the whole book, and it just did not look any better. I mean, you can watch it and tell me about it yourself. If you've watched it and enjoy it, you know, fry me in the comments, but I will stand by what I say, because it's pretty gross. Anyways, that's pretty much all I want to do. I'm going to try to do this for every season, but we'll see about that. And if this video does great, you know, and if you like what y'all see, leave it down in the comments, drop a like and subscribe, as that does help around on my channel and the algorithm as well. So yeah, with all that said, appreciate y'all for hanging around, and I will see y'all next time, guys. Adios.